Joining the fight against climate change, the first satellite developed by an environmental nonprofit has been in orbit since early March. MethaneSat pinpoints where leaks of the powerful greenhouse gas methane occur around the world. The data could help stakeholders fix the leaks.
The largest industrial source of methane is the oil and gas industry. And so that's why our primary focus is on trying to limit methane pollution from oil and gas. Other large sources of methane are agriculture, landfills, and other facilities like that.
Methane is the second largest contributor to global warming behind carbon dioxide. More than 150 countries, including the United States, have promised substantial emissions reductions by the year 2030. Among the measures to achieve them, the U.S. Bureau of Land Management announced in late March the final methane waste prevention rule with updated regulations for operators of oil and gas leases in federal and tribal lands. Environmental advocates are thrilled.
From both a fiscal perspective and a climate perspective, it makes sense that when oil and gas companies are drilling on America's public lands, they should have to capture that methane. And then if they're not able to capture it, it only makes sense that they still pay a royalty.
The president of the Western Energy Alliance, Kathleen Skama, told VOA that her group is reviewing the new BLM rule and affirmed the oil and gas industry has long been doing its part to cut harmful emissions.
We are constantly reducing methane emissions. Regulations continue to become stricter and require less emissions. So we are really, as a country, doing a lot to reduce those greenhouse gas emissions.
In its latest Global Methane Tracker report, the International Energy Agency warns the global production and use of fossil fuels resulted in close to 120 million metric tons of methane emissions in 2023. The agency calls on the United States and other large polluters to do more to reduce emissions if climate disasters are to be avoided. The global approach to combat climate change would also benefit from stronger partnerships, some researchers say.
We need to do something which will bring down the warming very quickly. I mean by very quickly in 10 to 20 years' time. The cooperation between the oil industry, oil and gas, and scientists and policymakers. I hope we could do that.
Without a concerted effort to fight climate change, scientists predict extreme weather events around the world will become more frequent and intense. Veronica, Balderas, Iglesias, VOA News, Washington.